Cheryl and Charlotte have created this little form that will be in the Google Classroom at the end of this module that you're going to take. Once you complete the module and that we see that you've actively participated by filling out the forms along the way, you'll be entered into the Google Classroom where you'll receive additional documents to support yourself, your timesheet, and other valuable information. But you'll also receive this form, and this form is a really neat form that you can use with your mentee, and just kind of sitting down with them and having them share their procedures, and that will help them organize their classroom for success. Like, one of the questions that you would kind of want to embark on for a discussion is, what's the entering procedure for your classroom? Okay, how do you initiate that opening activity? What's your attendance procedure? New teachers oftentimes see pictures, or they've been in classrooms where those procedures have already been set up, and they're more participants, or they're like directors of those procedures, as opposed to actually setting them up at the beginning of the year. So if you notice that there's issues with that classroom organization, you may want to use this tool. Just kind of pull it out, kind of like enter in that discussion, and really get that mentee to really think about those procedures that they've set up in their classrooms. This quote is just so just really reflects what happens. The teaching profession is one of the few, if not the only profession, in which beginners are expected to assume full responsibilities the first day on the job. Infant in campus, get ready, do the attendance, all the phone calls that a teacher has to answer, the procedures in that classroom, creating the lessons, lessons with engagement, with the diversity. It's like, poof, here you go. Put everything together and be ready to do it first day when you're on that job. It's a whole lot to put into play, and that's why your role as a mentor is so critical. A mentor is, again, someone who's knowledgeable, experienced, and highly proficient. You were, your principal was given a letter from the district, and they chose you because you're knowledgeable, you're experienced, and you're proficient. You're going to be willing to work alongside your beginning teacher, and also you're going to be gradually releasing the new learning. You know it, you're going to share it, and your mentee is going to practice it, and then you're going to come back and share. But eventually you want that mentee to kind of walk on their own with their own 2 feet and really become self-sufficient by the end of the year. And you're also someone who knows a great deal about teaching and learning students, parents, and the school. What better person to support the new teacher than yourself? Now, the phases of your mentor relationship are going to have 4 stages. Initiation, you're going to get to know one another, trust one another. Oftentimes, mentees will be a little reluctant to say, yeah, I want to meet with you. I always kind of like, okay, here's my calendar, pick a day, when are we meeting? I don't really let them kind of say, okay, I can't come. I'll go, well, we've got 15 hours to do. 15 hours for the first semester and 15 hours for the second semester, and that's a minimum. So we're going to need to pick out some days, pick out some times, not just after school, but let's pick a time on the weekend that we can really get down and do what we need to do to support you. Cultivation, what things do mentors and mentees do together to promote and enhance teaching and learning? So you're going to cultivate them. Elementary teachers have that big FOSS kit that comes to them. sit down, open up that FOSS kit, and say, okay, let's work on this together. I'll help you, I'll support you. Middle school teachers, high school teachers, they have a lot of content to go through. They have lesson planning that they have to go through. Going to the instructional framework and go, okay, this is the module. Let's figure out, what do you want to pick and choose, and what are some other things that we can incorporate into that lesson to ensure that you have a really good sound lesson that is engaging for your students. Separation. How does the role of the mentor diminish and the mentee increase? That's that gradual release, so that you're scaffolding that person to be independent. Oftentimes I'll say, oh, let me see your plans for the week. But then I'm saying, okay, share with me your plans for the week. And they're coming to me, oh, I need help with this, or I need help with that. And redefining, how does the mentor-mentee relationship evolve to peer coaching, critical friend relationship? Is this a valid progression? You don't want to be doing everything for your mentee. You want them to kind of be like a mini you, or someone that can really stand on their own, be a leader in the school, take on new responsibilities, and really have that sound classroom management, sound parent communication, all the components that really are going to help your new teacher develop their craft and become an effective professional. There's some mentor traps you want to avoid. You don't want to be the know-it-all. You don't want to go, I know best, so listen just to me. I can help you get ahead. You need me. I showed you last week, remember? I'm telling the principal how you're doing. He did well because of me. Again, you're mentoring. Mentoring is a really fine line. You're coaching, you're scaffolding. You're putting the solutions, you're saying to that mentee, okay, here's the problem. What do you want to do about it? What do you have to say? What are some solutions that you can generate? If you're giving all the solutions to them and they're picking and choosing, then you're the one who's driving. You want that new teacher driving and becoming capable of all the components of teaching.